Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy. Today is the first Thursday of February. February is known as the Love Month, and I hope you have a very nice month. And today's topic is very um, good because we are going to talk about the relationships. And in this month, I think it's very important that be aware what is a healthy relationship. Could be in your personal life, could be in your professional life, in your daily life. We can talk about this topic because it's very important. Today is with me Tania Borja from um, the Stop Community Center and the Healthy Beginning Program. Thank you, Tanya, for being here. I thank you for being here today with Marcelina Gonzalez also. And you are going to introduce Marcelina. Thank you, Tanya and Marcelina, for being here today.
Yes, I am really excited to be here today. This is our second episode of the year so far, 2023, Healthy Beginnings radio show. And today I have an interesting guest speaker. Her name is Marcelina Gonzalez. She is from Mexico, and she is also settlement assistant. She works with the neighborhood group, and she is one of the partners of the Healthy Community Food Center. Has been devoted to helping different kinds of newcomers and people in the city, helping them to find services, referrals that they might need to be able to
Desata
get.
silencio.
So yes, welcome Marcelina. I'm really happy for you to be here today.
Hmm.
And this topic is a topic. Marcelina, she's an expert in this topic. She has been delivering these workshops for many years, and she's very knowledgeable about the topic of healthy relationships. Thank you for being here today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you,
Yes.
Marcelina. I'm very happy for that you can join us and talk about this issue that is very important. Sometimes we cannot recognize what is a healthy relationship, what's not a healthy relationship, and we think a bad relationship could be a good one because we don't know difference because maybe we didn't know or we didn't know that in our life. Um, to describe, can you help me to describe what is a healthy relationship or how can we identify what is a healthy relationship?
Yes. So there is a very clear way to identify when it's a healthy relationship, and that is when you feel good with yourself. Like you don't have to hide your feelings. You don't have to feel guilty. You feel happy, you feel content and fulfilled, right? With to when you are with that special person. So there are certain characteristics that makes it even more clear, and that's when there's honesty between the two of them, there is trust, they respect each other, and they're in an open communication with each other, and there's a compromise, right? Like you want to make sure you both are in the same channel and there is no misunderstanding or letting the other person down or not helping or supporting that person. That those little details are the ones that give us the information and the feedback that everything is going well, right?
And I thank you for that definition because I think if we're in a good relationship and we feel good, we think we are in a good relationship. But I think it's a very fine when you are feeling good and then you are not feeling that well, and you think you are feeling good because you don't have other experience or you don't have other part to compare how you are feeling. Tanya, with the moms that are right there in your program, how can you say if they are in a good relationship, or they approach you and they tell you, I think I'm not in a good relationship, or this is a topic that we as a women, as a mothers, we don't do it.
I think it is, as you mentioned, it is a really fine line when it comes to describing a healthy. I think first of all, a healthy relationship starts by having a deep relationship and a deep knowledge about yourself, being conscious about who you are, what do you want, what your needs are, what your standards are in terms of getting related to other people. And also the other important aspect that you mentioned is how can you compare, right? How can you really know whether you're in a bad relationship or in a healthy relationship if you don't have a lot of experience with relationships? A lot of people go into relationships very young and then continue on, and then they maybe get married and then don't have the opportunity to have more experiences in terms of relating with other people. So it is really a fine line between knowing whether you're in a good or not so good relationship. But I would say it's very, very important first to know yourself, to get to know yourself and to really understand what is it what you want from your relationships with other people. In terms of the moms that come to the program, I would say that's something that I personally um, I'm not aware in terms of how their personal lives are. I would say that that's more of the job of the family support workers. Family support workers do develop a closer relationship with the participants, and sometimes the participants do confide in the family support workers their if there's anything that is bothering them in terms of their relationships. And that's when we could come in and suggest resources, suggest services that might help them find a better way to build relationships. So I would say we all have the possibility of not being in a healthy relationship because we're not really taught how to relate positively with others. And I think that's something that we need to start doing. We need to start learning how to first of all relate in a healthy way with ourselves, and from there we can mirror other with other people.
That's so true. So
Mhm.
to relate to one and then to relate to other ones. Marcelina, can you help
Yeah.
me to know what are the red flags to know if we're in the path to a bad relationship? Because we talk about what is a good relationship or what's a healthy relationship.
Yes.
But I think this is a we have red flags that if we know them, we are more aware that we are getting to the bad relationship. So, what are the red flags that we can spot in our relationship?
Yes. Um, I would say, like, if you are thinking, going to the past, like how we how two of them started in the relationship, right? Like, is everything is in balance, everything is okay, and then you find yourself like, okay, let me review. But now, how am I doing? How are we doing as a couple and in this relationship? Then you realize, oh, all the things that is being lost in the relationship. If there is no respect, if there is the other person is no trusting in you, is being dishonest, all those things that are lacking in a relationship, there is no open communication, the other person doesn't compromise with you, those are red flags that are indicating you, oh my God, this relationship is not going well, and how can we do, or what can we do to fix this situation? Because as soon as you start noticing all those things, and it's going like down the hill, as they say, then you had to do something. You had to engage with the other person and start talking about like the difference, how it used to be and how it is now, and what can both of them do in order to improve that relationship, right?
Yeah, Marcelina, you mentioned that we need to like compare how we felt at the beginning and how we are feeling in the moment. And in case we are like
Yeah.
not feeling that well, that things are like I'm not really happy. Um, what can we do, or what are the steps to start um, acknowledging or being more aware what's happening in our life? Because Tanya, working with moms, is very important that moms can spot that red flags and know where are those, um, to prevent the kids to have a bad relationship also in the family.
Yeah, exactly. Like as soon as you can see, even in the behavior of your own children start like doing things that, for example, the either the mother is doing or the father is doing. So if there is lack of respect, the kids are gonna start uh, showing disrespect to you and to authority, right? Why? Because they're learning, they're watching, they're observing. So all those things are kind of like indicators, and then you realize, oh, I, me and my partner, we need to sit down and we need to figure out what can we do. How are we gonna continue if if this relationship is not going the right way? Then we're gonna have to talk to a counselor and find that balance that will brings you back into a healthy relationship, right? Because it has to be a compromise between the two of them. And if there is a compromise and both of them are expecting to fix that situation, that is a good indicator that there is hope, right? There is something to look forward, in the future will be like better. So hopefully both of them utilize that tool of like going to counseling and talk about how are they feeling, or what is the situation that is causing the other person or the two of them going like in a bad relationship.
Tanya, and when a mother comes to you and said, I think I'm in a bad relationship, or I might be having abuse in my relationship, or maybe I'm not sure, but I'm not feel happy, a bad relationship can be confused with depression, or there is a difference, because maybe a new mom is getting like sad, angry, change of mood, and they are thinking, oh, maybe I have a depression, but maybe it's because the bad relationship. What do you think?
Well, definitely, I think there are two different things here. One could definitely be postpartum depression, something that comes after we become moms, that we're just starting this new journey in parenthood. And then this other one is about relationship issues, right? This is definitely something that professionals need to evaluate and need to give a professional diagnosis or a professional recommendation, suggestion. I would say one thing that will be important for us to make that difference, whether am I experiencing postpartum depression, or I am experiencing other type of emotional upset because of what's happening in my relationship. And you were asking about red flags. I think specifically when it comes to a
Mhm.
relationship with your partner or somebody else, because healthy relationships is not only about your relationship with your partner, but also with your friends, with your family members, with your kids, right? Um, when we feel that there is we're not feeling respected, we're not feeling valued, when we're not feeling appreciated by the other person, when, as Marcelina said, when we don't feel ourselves, we're not free to express ourselves in a way that is fulfilling and genuine and open, when we feel repressed, when we feel that any in any way fearful about being ourselves, then that's a red flag. When we're feeling that if we are finding ways to talk things out, to work things out if they need to be worked out, if we're finding ways or trying to find ways to make it work and it's not happening, then that's a red flag, because a relationship is
Yeah.
a way, right? It has to be it has to come from you, and then it has to come from the other person, and it's a
Yep.
joint effort. It has always to be a joint effort, right, Marcelina?
That's correct. And like I said at the beginning, if being in that relationship is making you feel empty, is making you wonder and questioning, why is it the other person like treating me this way? Why is it like the other person not recognizing all the effort that I made like this day into doing this or that chore, right? Like that person is not appreciating all the things that we're doing. Those are indicators that something is not going well, and you have to make sure you talk about those situations that makes you feel uncomfortable, because sometimes we build up inside all those thoughts, all those, and we don't express to the other person. It's not helpful. It's not helpful at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one question for both of you, because once one we spot that we are in a bad relationship, a not healthy relationship, what are the steps that we can do to resolve this issue or to go to a healthy relationship? It's like a step by step, or it's like I need to call someone, or I need to stop doing something? It's like a guide to do or something like that?
So
Marcelina
I
or
Yes.
Daniel?
Uh,
yeah, go
yes.
ahead, Marcel. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think that there is a very important tool that we all can utilize, and is setting boundaries, right? So we have to learn to recognize what are the things that bother us, right? Because usually we don't even know how we are. Like Tanya said, we have to know first to know ourselves, right? So when we know what are the things that are our limitations, things that bother us personally, it can be something, a very bad experience that we had in the past, and we don't even know. So knowing what are our boundaries and recognizing them first in ourselves, and then expressing those boundaries to others, that will help us to improve our relationship with others. It doesn't even matter if it's your partner, if it's your coworker or your child. You have to make it clear what are things that are like really makes you feel mad or angry or disappointed, and in a very low voice, and just make it clear with them. And those are like things that will help you, right? And practice active listening to that person that is in front of you. uh Support each other, help each other, and 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 just talk. Communication is key.
Yeah. So you were asking if a guide, a step-by-step guide when it comes to changing our relationships. I I think it might not be necessarily a step-by-step guide, but definitely there are things that we could do in an perhaps in an order to get from a point A to a point B in our relationship. And the first one I said, for me personally, I think self knowledge and self evaluation is key. We need to really know who we are and what our standards in terms of relationships are. So as Marcelina said, we can set boundaries. And once we set these boundaries, being able to comply with those boundaries ourselves, because sometimes we set boundaries and then we are very loose in terms of allowing
Mhm.
people to go back and forth on those boundaries. So once you set your boundaries, once you know your boundaries and set your boundaries, then you have to remain firm on what your boundaries are. I think also we need to educate ourselves and to better ourselves in terms of gaining more emotional intelligence. We talk about, and there's a lot of talking about emotional intelligence, but what that is really, well, it depends.
Mhm.
Everybody has ways of expressing emotions, and emotional intelligence can look in a very different way from one people to other. But then my suggestion will be, learn more about that, learn about emotional regulation, and know how you can get more intimate with yourself in terms of your emotions. Be very, very honest about how you feel and what makes you feel that way, so you can start building strategies to be emotional intelligent. And then finally being able to, to work yourself to a brave state, so you could communicate bravely and sincerely and firmly what is it that you need and what is it that you not accept from other people, right? Either from your partner, your romantic partner, or other people as well, because relationships are all around us. So I would say, to start changing our relationships, we need to really build up a better self, and from there being able to acquire skills to communicate in an assertive way, so we can be heard, we can be transparent with what we need, and also being able to listen to what the other person feedback is regarding to that relationship, because it's not about just what I want and how I set my limits, but also how the other person wants me to them, right? How I can also be respectful of their boundaries of what they want. So communication is key, and we need to learn. I think in terms of having healthy relationships, we everybody has a lot of work to do. It's not something that's just magically is going to happen. We need to invest in ourselves, and we need to invest in our relationships as well, in a way that is empathetic, that is smart, and that is also very loving and gentle, first to ourselves and then to others.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Tanya, and thank you, Marcelina, because I think this topic is very important. This issue, this life to life issue is very important that we talk. And sometimes we are afraid to talk about what is a good relationship, what is a healthy relationship, because sometimes I think we are afraid to put ourselves in the point that, oh my God, I'm in a bad relationship, but I need to go to the path to a good relationship. And sometimes it's afraid. So I thank both of you for talking about this. Marcelina, if people want to know more where you work, where can they keep in touch with you, or where can they find some of these resources that you talk?
Of course, of course. You can write an email to my organization. My email is Marcelina, Mircelina dot Gonzalez, Gonzalez at tngcs.org.
Thank you so much, Marcelina.
That's my
Um,
email.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
if you want to keep in touch with Marcelina and know more about these resources, please send her an email because I think she will be very happy to help you, to help us, to help the community to have a healthy relationships because if we are having healthy relationships, we are going to have a healthy life. Tanya, if a new mom is,
Yeah.
if a parent and want to be in touch with Healthy Beginning program at the Step Community Center, where can they reach you?
Yes, of course. We are open to new participants. We do have a catchment area in place currently. So our catchment area is okay. I can send this information by email because I know we're running out of time. But if they want to reach out to Healthy Beginnings, they can write me an email at Tania, Tania, at thestop.org. I can also send the Marcelina's contact if they need to. I can get
Yeah.
them in contact. I can put that contact together for you, and also provide you with an appointment for registration. So we are currently accepting new participants. They need to be within our catchment area. They need to be low income and also in need of this service and resource. So thank you, Miriam. This is great. As always, always a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you so much, Marcelina, for being here today with us. Uh, Marcelina
Thank
just
you.
presented a job about healthy relationships just recently, and yeah, we this is a huge topic. We can continue to talk about it for many more sessions. I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. And I think maybe we should have another talk with you, other radio show with you guys, because I think this topic is very important to knowledge and the people
Very, very.
have a very good knowledge if what is a good, what is bad, what is in the middle, and know themselves. Thank you, Marcelina. Thank you, Tanya. And thank you to the people
Thank
at the
you.
GoLive TV and Ahora Canada for doing this possible. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week with another guest. Thank you and have a wonderful February month.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Ciao.